guys, Sir Ian again here. Welcome to another lecture series. So in this part of our lecture series, we're going to discuss the operations involving the octal number. So this lecture will be delivered in Filipino English to further assist you with your learnings. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright. So nung nakaraan, diniscuss natin yung subtraction, multiplication, division. Nakalaktaw lang si addition kasi nauna natin siyang diniscuss prior ng 2's complement. Okay. So si octal numbers, ganun din. Meron din siyang mga operations na involved. Okay. So let's start first with addition. So addition of octal. So addition ng octal. So say for example, we have 162 base 8. Plus daw natin siya sa 537 base 8. Okay. So horizontal muna natin. Okay. So how do we solve this? So base 8, base 8. Okay. Pag hindi yan parang base 8, hindi mo pwedeng operate. Okay. So remember that. Pag nag-ooperate kayo ng number system, dapat magkakapareho ng base. Else, hindi nyo siyang ma-operate. So if you want to operate na iba-iba yung mga number system and gusto mong pagsamahin, you will convert or you should convert one number system to another unless specified. All right. So ang step natin for addition, we will add normally na parang binary, na parang decimal siya. Okay. So first step is to treat this na para siyang decimal. Okay. So 2 plus 7 is equal to 9. Pero wag mo munang ilalagay dun sa sum. So maglagay ka sa may isang solving space mo 9. Then after that, i-divide mo siya by 8. So 9 by 8, so that is equals to 1. Meron tayong 8 dito, remainder 1. Yung remainder, ito ang ilalagay mo ngayon sa may sum part. At yung 1, ito yung magiging carry part or yung quotient na tinatawag natin. So, ganun lang yung process. Okay, so, continue lang yan. So, 1 remainder will be the sum part. Carry will be 1 yung quotient part. Carry 1. Okay. 6 plus 3 is 9 plus 1, 10. Okay, ganun ulit. 10 divided by 8. So, 1, 8. Mayroon tayong remainder 2. 2 would be on the sum part. 1 will be the carry part. So, 1 plus 1. So, that's equal to. So, 1 plus 1. So, that's equal to 7. 1 plus 1 is to 2. Plus 5. So, that is equal to 7. So, 721 base 8. And that is now the answer. So let's have the next problem, okay, or next example. So, paano lang passive lang ito kasi later on, I'm going to use this problem again sa baliktad operation naman. So, subtraction naman. So, the answer would be 162 naman sa may subtraction. So, please remember that. So, let's now try or have another example. So, sa example number 2, so let's have 136 base 8 plus 636. Okay, so let's add the 2. So base 8. So 136 base 8 and then 636 base 8. Okay. First step, add like decimal. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 and 8. So that is 1. 8. So this is 4. Okay. Quotient part is the sum. Quotient part is the carry. Sum part is the remainder. Okay, 1 plus 3 is 4 plus 3, so that is 7. And then 1 plus 6 is 7. So the answer is 7, 7 for base 8. And that is now the answer. As simple as that. Okay. So what if now that is subtraction? Baliktad naman. Okay. So, paano naman ngayon pag magsasubtract daw? So for subtraction, ganito naman yung process. So, sabi ko, babaliktarin natin. So, for our first example, 721 base 8 minus 537 base 8. Okay, sorry for that. So, let's subtract the 2. So kung isasubtract natin yung dalawa, tingnan mo natin kung mas malaki yung minuend sa may subtrahend. Okay. So 1 is less than 7, so borrow 1. So 2 borrow 1, so this becomes 1. And then instead na 10, ang i-add ay 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 minus 7 is equal to 2. 1 and 3 cannot be. Borrow 1, this becomes 6. 8 plus 1 would then be equal to 9. 9 minus 3 would then be equal to 6. And then 6 minus 5 would then be equal to 1. And we know that ito yung sagot based on our previous example, which is binaliktad ko lang yung numbers. Okay. So let's try to the other number. Example number 2. Okay. So 774 base 8 minus 636 base 8. Okay. And we know the answer would be 136 base 8. Okay, not 128. 136 base 8. Okay. So how do we do that? Same process. Four and 6 cannot be. Borrow 1. This becomes 6. And then plus 8. 8 plus 4, so that's equal to 12. 12 minus 6 is equal to 6. 6 and 3, so that is equal to 3. And then 7 and 6, so that's equal to 1. And that would be the answer. So ganun lang siya kadaling gawin sa may subtraction. So those are the solutions for you to copy it, jot down on your notes. All right. Now, we're done with subtraction. So let's now go with multiplication. Okay, so with multiplication, these are the process. So parang process din siya ni addition. So say for example, we're asked to find the product of 23 base 8 and 6 base 8. So we need to find the product. So if we want to find the product, okay, so here's the step. So ganun ulit, parang decimal pa rin siya. Pero multiplication lang yung nangyayari. And then yung process ng pang-convert, pareho pa rin sa may addition. Okay. So first, multiply and treating it like a decimal. So 6 times 3 is equal to 18, but do not write it on the product part. So 18 divided by 8 ulit. Ganun ulit. Parang ginagawa natin kay addition. But instead, the remainder is on the sum part. The remainder would be on the product part. And then the quotient would be the carry part. Ganun pa rin yung process niya. So 8 and 18, so that would be 2, 16, remainder 2. So therefore, that would be 2, carry 2. 6 times 2, so that is 12 plus 4, so that is 14. Ganun ulit. 14 divided by 8. So that would be 1, not 2, sorry. So 14 and 8, so that is 6. 6 would be on the product part, 1 would be carry. Since wala nang i-multiply, we just bring that down. And that's the answer, 162 base 8. Okay, so if you want to verify, we know that 23 base 8 is equal to 19. And we know 68 or 6 base 8 is still equal to 6. Okay, alam naman natin na yun yan. Paano nangyari yung... So recalling, how do you convert octal to decimal? Okay, so 8 raised to 0, 8 raised to 1. Okay, so 3 times 1, so that is 3. 2 times 8, so that is 16. Okay, 16 plus 3, so that is 19. And that is still the answer. All right, ito siya, base 10 and base 10. And if we convert 19 times 6, if we multiply 19 and 6, the answer would be 114 base 10. So 162 should then be equal to 114 base 10. So let's verify. 0, 8 raised to 1, 8 raised to 2. Okay. 2, 8 raised to 0, so that's 2. 6 times 8 is 54. 8 raised to square, that is 64. Okay. So 64 plus 54 plus 2. Okay. No, not 54, but rather 48. I'm sorry for this one. 2 plus 48 is equals to 50. 50 plus 64 would then be equal to 140. And that is now the answer in the decimal. As you can see, tabulated at nag-match yung dalawa. So, ganun lang natin siya kinukuha at sinusolve. Okay. So, later on, gamitin ulit natin example na to sa may division. So, let's try if we'll arrive naman pabalik sa may ating multiplicand. Okay. So, let's have another example. So 44 base 8 times 15 base 8. Okay, so what would be the answer? So if you're going to convert that to, so that is 36 times 13. So that should be 460. Okay. In decimal, so ito lang yung ating for checking part. Para makita lang natin kung tama. Okay. So solve natin siya. So 44 and then 15. Okay. Times. 5 times 4, so that is 20. Do not write it here, but rather write it on a space and then convert that to its octal counterpart. So 20 and 8, so that is 216. We have a remainder of 4. 4 will be in the product part and then 2 will be the carry. 5 times 4 is still 20. Pareho ulit. Plus 2 is 22. So 22 divided by 8. So 2 plus 22, so 2 and 22, so that's equal to 2, 16, and then this would be equals to 6. So that would be 6, and carry 2 would be this one, so 264. And then 44 multiplied by 1, so that's simply equal to 44. Add 4, so 4. 6 plus 4 is 10, okay, greater than 8. Let's apply this. 8 divided by 10, so that is 1. So this is 2. Sum part is 2, carry part is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 4, so that is 7. So the answer is 724 base 8. And that is now the answer. And 724 base 8 is equal to 460. Okay, so let's verify. So 724. 7, 2, 4. So this would still be 4. 2 times 8 would then be equals to 16. So this becomes 20. Okay. So 7 times 64. Okay. Oh, sorry, this should be 468, not 460. So 7 times 64, so that's equal to, okay, so let's try. 8 carry 2. 42, 44. So 448. So 448 plus 20 is equal to 468. And we got the correct answer. So ganun lang kasimple mag-multiply. Okay, so yan. Mapunta lang ninyo. Okay. So yan ngayon yung mga yan ngayon yung process ng multiplication. Now let's have division. So paano naman ngayon pag division? So, suppose you're asked to divide 162 by 6. So, dapat mo kuha natin si 23 pabalik. So, yung process ng division, medyo lengthy ito. And this requires the slide rules. So, for your midterms, at least prepare your tables. Para at least hindi kayo mahirapan na sa pag-solve pag na-encounter nyo yung division. But of course, pwede naman mangyari na doon yun ang gawin yung paggawa ng table niyo. Okay. So that would be 162 base 8 divided by 68. Okay. Or 6 base 8. Okay. So ano ang unang process natin pag division? So the process natin pag division, titingnan nyo itong divisor. So gagawa kayo ng table of values. 6 hanggang multiply siya by 7. 6 times 1, 6 times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6, times 7. Gagawa kayo ng table. That's the first step. Pero pag nagawa niyo na to at meron kayong slide rule, much better. Kasi ang gagawin niyo na lang yan is itong mga to, nakahanda na siya at pwede nyo na siyang tingnan. So 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is Okay. 12, okay. Pag ginawa natin yung process natin kanina, okay, so 12 divided by 8, okay, so that is 1, 8, 4. So that is 14. So, pre-resolve ko na ito, and the remaining values would be this. $22, 30, 36, 44, and 52. Okay. Ito yung mga pre-solved values niya. So ngayon, what would be the next process? So the next process would be, gagawa tayo ng vinculum ng division. 168 divided by 6. And we will now look at the values. So si 16, saan siya kasya dito sa table na to? As you can see, pasok siya sa 2. So we put here 2 here and then 14. And then after that, we'll write 16 minus 4, so that is 2. And then 28. Ay, not 162. Not 168, but rather 162. Okay, sorry for that. So 2 pala, not 8. Nagkamali ako ng copy. Sorry for that. So 16. Okay. Ito yung kasya, kasi 2 yan. And then subtract 6 minus 4, so that is 2. 1 minus 1 equals to 0. And then bring down 2. 22, asan sa table? Ito, kasya siya dito. So therefore, that is 3. So we have here now 22. So as you can see, it is exact and no remainder. So therefore, the quotient of 162 and 6 in base 8 is equal to 23. And that is now the answer. So ganun lang kasimple ginagawa. So hope nakuha nyo paano siya ginagawa. Okay, so para mas makita nyo yung process, let's have another one. So for the next problem, so let's have 724 base 8 divided by 15. Ito medyo mas complicated siya. Kasi 2-digit na siya. So first step, create a table of values. So that would be, so table of values. So that would be 15 hanggang times 7. 15 times 1, 15 times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6, and then times 7. 15 times 1 is 15, pero kailangan naka-octal. So that is 17. Paano nangyaring 17? Step by step natin. 1, 8. 15 and 8, 7. 7 would then be, in the product part, carry 1, 7. 2, okay. So 30. 30 and 8, that would then be equal to 3, 24, and we have a remainder of 6. So hindi ganun yung process, but rather, dapat ganito siya. So, malamang sa malamang ang gagawin ng iba, so 30 divided by 8. Then we have here 3, 24, so 6. It's not 36. But rather, remember, ginawa natin sa multiplication, 15 times 2. Ganito natin siya kukunin. Dapat. 2 times 5 is equals to 10. Dito dapat yung i-divide. 10 and 8, so 1, 8. So this would be equals to 2. 2 would be in the product part. 1 would be the carry. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1, so that is 3. So the answer would then be 32. Sige, let's try again with 3. 15 times 3. 3 times 5, so that is 15. 15 divided by 8, so that's still 1, 8, and this would be 7. So 7 carry 1. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1, so that is 47. So I want you to try solving the other values, and you should get the following values. So bibigay ko na yung value, i-try ninyo. Dapat makuha nyo itong mga values na ito. So yan dapat yung mga makukuha ninyong values pag kinomplete ninyo yung table. So that's the first part. Alright, now that we have the table, we can now divide. Actually, yung process na to ay ginagamit din sa may hexadecimal. Alright? So, gawa tayo ng vinculum. Base 8, base 8. Alright. With 7, di pwede. With 72, saan siya kakasya? Kakasya siya kay 4. So, we write here 64. 72 and 64, subtraction. So, borrow 1, this becomes 6. And then this becomes 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. 10 minus 4 is equal to 6. And then 6 minus 6 is equals to 0. Bring down 4. 64 is, alam natin na kasya siya dito. So we write another 4 here. And this is 64. And there would be no remainder in the quotient. And we now have the quotient be equal to 44. At nakuha na natin yung sagot sa may problem natin na ito. Alright, so ganyan lang mag-divide, mag-multiply, mag-subtract at mag-add ng octal numbers. And I hope you learned something new in this lecture. So if you're having a difficulty understanding the topic or the concepts necessarily in this topic, so please feel free to repeat the video again and again until you can grasp the necessary knowledge. So if your problem cannot be solved in that method, so please feel free to reach out to me to any of my possible means. All right, so good luck and see you on the next lecture.